Hey there, welcome to Bird Paparazzi. In today's video, we're going to be talking about two powerhouse lenses from Canon. The first is the versatile 100-500 zoom lens. It goes f4 to f7.1, and then the super-telephoto RF 600mm f4. Now, if you're into wildlife photography or sports photography, stick around and hopefully I can help you figure out which one might work best for you. Okay guys, we're out here at the beautiful Camas Prairie. You can see in the background here. You might hear some of the wildlife on the audio, I'm not sure. There's one right there. Anyways, I'm out here to compare these two lenses. So I've used both these lenses extensively and I've learned a lot about how they operate. So stick around and I'll share with you the strengths and weaknesses of these things, and we'll compare some photos at the end of the video and I'll let you know which one I prefer and why. The RF 100-500 is a zoom lens offering flexibility across a wide focal range, while the 600mm is a fixed prime lens designed for maximum reach and optical performance. Both these lenses are part of Canon's premium L series, meaning they deliver top-notch image quality and are weather sealed for durability. Okay, let's look at a spec sheet to see some of the differences between these two lenses. As you can see, the focal length of these lenses is pretty straightforward. The aperture of the 600mm lens is much larger at f4 than the 100-500, which ranges from f4.5 at between 100 to 150 millimeters to f7.1 at between 472 and 500 millimeters. When using the 100-500, you'll see the aperture change in the viewfinder as you zoom the lens in and out. So as far as the aperture goes, the 600mm lens will let more light in at the long focal length than the 100-500. The 100-500 has quite an advantage when it comes to weight. It comes in at almost 4 pounds lighter than the 600mm lens. It's more compact, making it easier to handhold and carry for extended periods. The 600mm lens is much larger and heavier. It's about 6.8 pounds, often requiring a monopod or tripod for comfortable use, and is best suited for situations where mobility is less critical and image quality is important. I'm still able to handhold the 600, but it can definitely get heavy really quick when you're concentrating on the same subject for an extended period. And as you can see, the minimum focus distance of the 100-500 is more than 10 feet closer than the 600mm lens. And they both have great image stabilization at around 5 stops each. Then there's the price. The 100-500mm lens is substantially less expensive compared to the 600mm lens, about a $10,000 difference. So let's cover some essential considerations when deciding which lens is right for you. First, let's talk about focal length and versatility. First, the RF 100-500mm offers a broad zoom range, making it highly versatile for subjects such as wildlife, sports, and travel, allowing you to adapt quickly to changing scenes without having to switch lenses or move around a lot. The 600mm prime lens, by contrast, provides a fixed focal length, which is ideal for distant subjects like birds or wildlife, but lacks the framing flexibility of the 100-500. So instead of zooming the lens, you'll have to change your physical position by walking backward or forward to frame the shot. Here are some things about image quality and aperture. Prime lenses like the 600mm f4 L series lens generally deliver superior image quality, creamy bokeh, better sharpness, and better low light performance due to their wider maximum aperture compared to the zoom lenses. Here's a photo I took with the 600mm of a great horned owlet with tree leaves in the background for bokeh. This lens created circular bokeh with the leaf and light mixture behind the owl. And here it is processed with a slight crop. Here's a raw photo of a tufted titmouse taken with the 600mm lens. And then the post-processed photo cropped in. Notice the beautiful creamy bokeh and the sharp detail even after it's cropped in about 65%. The RF 100-500, while offering excellent image quality for a zoom, has a smaller maximum aperture, which is f7.1 at 500mm, which can limit performance in low light and affect subject isolation compared to the faster f4 aperture. Now let's compare. Here's some raw unprocessed photos of some Swainson's hawks taken by both lenses to compare the backgrounds and detail of the photos. This photo, taken with the 100-500mm lens, was taken about 15 feet closer to the hawk than the photo taken with the 600mm lens. Notice the distinct difference in the backgrounds in the two photos, especially when zoomed in. Notice the noise in each of these photos is similar, and they were both taken at ISO 1000. However, the photo taken with the 600mm lens was taken in much darker conditions. Both photos do have good detail. Here they are processed. This photo taken with the 100-500 looks really good and sharp. This one taken with the 600mm is also good and sharp. So in this comparison with the 600mm lens, I was able to stay about 15 feet further back from the Swainson's hawk in darker conditions and still have great details and bokeh in the photo even when cropped in a bit. With the 100-500mm, I had to get in closer to the bird and needed more available light to get the shot. But as you can see, it did a great job too. So as you can see, both these lenses perform very well. Now I chose the 600mm f4 because I like the bokeh and I like to be further back from the wildlife when I take the photo, with enough sharpness that I have the option to crop it in and still maintain a sharp quality photo. Also, for now, I'm still able to handhold this lens, which can get heavy at times, but for now, I'm able to wield it pretty easily. Another thing I like is the f4 aperture, which allows me to shoot in lower light. With the 100-500, I really struggled in low light situations. And at the end of the day, both these lenses are very high quality. They both perform very well, and they both take excellent images. So it all depends on if you want something a little lighter and cheaper, a little bit heavier and more expensive. I personally choose the 600mm because I don't have too much of a problem holding it up. As I get a little bit older, I might get a little bit weaker. Sometimes it gets a little heavy, starts making the shoulders sore, but for now I'm using it. And I also use this. I'm fortunate enough to have this one as well, where I can be more versatile on subjects that are a little bit harder to get with this one because sometimes this lens is too close and you can't back up, but with the RF 100-500 you can zoom out and you can still move on your feet as well. So a little bit of plus and minus to both. I still prefer this one, is why I bought it. It's quite a big decision. So which one of these lenses would you choose? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit like and subscribe and share this video with somebody you think might like it. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one. See ya.